Good evening, day 18. So the next few of these videos are going to have content warnings on them. I don't want to upset anybody, but there's a couple of things we do have to talk about. And up until now, it's been kind of fairly safe. Conversations have been based around the notion that depression and trauma are somewhat but they're something within the control of the person who suffers them. There's going to be depression and there's going to be trauma that comes from external factors that are outside of your control. So we have to talk about that. So today I want to talk about when depression comes from yourself and when you both dislike and hate yourself. Now, hate's a very, very strong word, but it happens. It happens that people have difficulty getting up in the morning because they just hate themselves. Now, I did some research last night before this to try and see what advice I could give in it, and realistically, there's no advice that's safe. Research, internet research, not peer-related studies. I did try to find it, couldn't find it. So I'm just going to try and give some anecdotal evidence that I have a friend who I was worried about one day, and I felt that they thought they couldn't talk to me, and I said to that person, do you trust me? And the reply I got was, I don't trust anybody. And I really didn't know what to say to that, and I felt the fact that I couldn't reply to that wasn't that it was a weakness, but it just meant that I wasn't, there was nothing I could do to help, and I didn't want to belittle it. I didn't want to try and make a stab in the dark that was just going to cause more problems or cause more hurt. You often see people saying, you see this thing people do sometimes when they're drunk, you know. Actually, sometimes they do it very kind of craftily towards women, which I've never understood, but I have had it done to me where people say to me to smile. And if somebody says to me in a pub or outside in the street, some person I don't know says, smile, it might never happen. Nothing makes me want to grind my face into the angriest scowl more, and nothing makes me want to punch that person in the thorax more. It makes me so angry. It's like, what the hell gives you the right to tell somebody how they should feel? Because that's essentially what you're doing. You're telling somebody else how they should feel when you do that. So don't do that. Okay? Some people have very low self-esteem and no sense of worth. And that the fact that they have that lack of self-esteem and the lack of sense of worth feeds into the depression that they have. The only thing I can think to do for somebody in that situation is just to be there and listen. I've said it before, listen, just listen. And I mean, this is 100% you have nothing to contribute here. There is no solution, there's no way out of this. There's no magic formula that you can say is going to help someone apart from listening and being there for them. Use words like, I don't even want to say that because then it's going to sound like it's, what's the word? Not insincere. It's going to feel like it's insincere because it's just going to feel like you're repeating a script. But do try and just be there for the person. Let them know that you're there when they're not talking. Ask them how they are. And be prepared for the answer to be pretty shit, but getting by. That means that the but getting by is there for you. That's there to let you think, okay, I don't have to worry about them. The important part is that they're pretty shit. And that's the bit that you have to focus on. Anything positive said from somebody that you know who suffers in this way is said for the benefit of others, to make them go away, to make them stop asking questions, because they don't want to talk about it. I've never been that bad. I don't know why I said we there. Maybe that's a Freudian slip. Maybe I need to talk to somebody about it. But anyway, all I think you can do for somebody in that situation is be there. And if you are somebody in that situation, look, I got you. I don't know what else I can say. There's no platitudes I can spew that's going to make life better. If the enemy you're fighting is yourself in your own head, then fight it. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop. It's easier to give up and to stop. But if you give up and you stop, then the enemy has won. You are more than that. You are better than that. You might not think that, but I think that. We think that. It's very difficult. I can only empathize. I have no idea what it's like to have that kind of battle going on internally. That societal expectation that you show up and you smile and you present yourself in a way that says everything's rosy and you do your job and you work and it's fine, but inside you are screaming. I don't know how to help. I don't know what I can say that is of help. So I'm not going to say anything. I'll just be here, and if you need me, you know where to find me. I hope there's something that can come from that. I hope that gives some sense of solace. I know it's not going to solve everything, but I hope it helps in some degree. So that's all I can say on that at the moment, and that's all I can say. The number one thing I can say to anybody else is there is no answers. Don't force it. Don't try to find them. They don't exist. If they did, you'd make a fortune. So just be there for the people that need it. Recognize that the battle that they have going on is theirs internally, and you can't fight it for them. You can only be there for them. Don't belittle it. Just because you don't suffer it and you don't know what it feels like doesn't mean that you can make it go away by using platitudes and false senses of sincerity. Because that's what they are so transparent. They don't mean the damn thing. So don't do it. The best way to be an ally in that situation is to say nothing. Shut up. Listen. And like I said before, the silence that follows in that space can take years. Just be there. I hope my friend knows that I think about them often. I'll sometimes send a message for no reason other than just to say, thinking of you. And it has always been appreciated. So I think that's as much as I can do. If it becomes more of a conversation, great, that's no problem. But I recognize this is not a battle I can help them fight. So I hope that helps. I don't think it's going to help anybody who's got that type of depression or who's got those kind of battles, but I hope it helps you on the outside looking in recognizing that there's very little you can do, and what you can do is just be there. Anyway, rambling again, but it's an important point. I think you need to know it. Not talked about enough. Okay? Okay. Mind yourselves. Talk tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed your pancakes.